Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And welcome back to the Operation Heal 100 Heart channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. What's up, you nosy motherfuckers? What's going on? And welcome to another letter for the segment of my dear DJ. Listen to me. I need you guys to hit the thumbs up on this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And let's get into this letter because I know y'all nosy. Anywho, dear DJ, how am I going to tell the man I've loved for 10 years that I can't have any kind of relationship with him because I'm in a relationship where that is not going to be tolerated? He just had a baby, so it should be easy. We built this bond where I'm the first person he calls when he's hurting, when his son is constipated, when he's having issues with his kids, when someone close to him passes away, etc. How do I say I can no longer be an emotional safe space for you because I have to respect the man who chose me? I didn't have to convince him, negotiate, or wait for 10 years. He asked me to marry him the first time he saw me. Now things are a little tricky because he has a 1 to 5 to 3 in state, and yeah, I could just omit for the next year and a half, but that's not really me, and my ex has no boundaries, so the calls will turn into visits, and I want to remain loyal to this man who loves me down because I love him too. He wants the life I want, and for my 40th birthday, when I wished on my cakes, I asked God for a man who didn't play about me, and now I have it. So what should I do? Signed, making room for my future. Alrighty then, let me take a sip of my water as I always do. Let me see if I could, because it seems like this letter was written very quickly. So let me see if I can kind of break down what it sounds like you're saying, right? It sounds like you have been in a situation with a man for the last 10 years, right? And in that situation, it just may have been it might have been serious at a point, then it stopped being serious at some point. It sounds like it's like a 10-year situationship kind of thing, right? And because of that, your goal was to start moving forward and looking for a man that is not interested in just having a situationship, but a man who's interested in having a serious relationship. So in your efforts to move forward, you made a birthday wish and you prayed to God, and boom, here goes your boo thing. Now, it seems like your boo thing may come with his own set of circumstances, which is, it sounds like he may be incarcerated from a 1 to 5 to from a year and a half to 3, depending on what the situation is. But in any event, that doesn't change how you feel about him or what you want to do with him. You just know that for that year and a half or 3 years, you will have to, kind of wait your turn until he gets released. But you guys are in love. And what you're saying is that because of that, you want to find a way to let your situationship person of 10 years know that you can no longer be his shoulder to cry on, his person to lean on, his bestie McSesty, because you're now moving forward in a relationship where you having male friends that you used to screw will not be tolerated by your new boo. Right? I think that's the gist of it for my listeners, right? Let me first say this, right? Let me first say this. The situationship piece, right? That's a very long time to know and deal with and love a person, right? That's a long time to know and deal with and love a person. So I can imagine that, it's a struggle to just say, well, don't speak to me no more and the situation is over, right? Because at some point when you've been dealing with a person for a significant amount of time, that person becomes like your family, which is why I can understand you saying a lot of the emotional support that he leans on you on is because you guys are so familiar with each other and know each other so well. Because now at this point, not only do we love each other and have that romantic piece, but you're also my family. So I get the part of it where it's like, oh my God, I don't want to turn my back on my family, because I love you, But then there's the other part of it, right? Because not only is this your family, because that's one thing, but this is also someone that you had a romantic interest in. and that, like you said, loved, and I'll take it a step further and say maybe you were also in love too, because that seems like a long time to have a situationship and not develop some strong feelings for that person. So this is not just your family. This is also someone who you have feelings for. My advice to people that are interested in getting in serious relationships is that before you even take any steps further to get in anything serious or to even try to go down the road of dating in an effort to be in something serious, then you have to make sure you have done the self work. And the self work is very, very excruciating when you're trying to purge certain situations, certain people, and just a whole lifestyle period, right? Because if you have been in something for 10 years, right, that means that you're pretty much used to the person to a certain degree, right? So it's very, very hard to now try to relinquish all of that stuff from your past in order to move forward and make a better future. So what I think probably needed to take place prior to you making your birthday wishes on your birthday cakes is that you needed to make sure that you were fully ready to relinquish the past so you can move forward with the future. Because had you did that, that whole situation shift from the past would have been null and void at this point, and you would just be moving forward with, like you said, the man that chose you. But since you didn't fully purge yourself and you haven't fully removed yourself from that prior situationship, that is why you're struggling with trying to remove yourself now. Because I haven't done the work, right? And what the work looks like is you figuring out what you want versus what you have, right? So let me start off by saying this. You said you made a wish on your birthday cakes that you could be in a serious committed relationship with a man who loves you, protects you, provided for you, and that a man who chose you, right? So that's what you want, right? Let's talk about what you have, which is clearly a man in a situationship that you might feel as though they're not doing those things. That's why you was wishing for it in somebody else, right? Which makes all the sense in the world. That's understandable. If I'm not getting something here, I need to move forward and try to get it somewhere else. My concern is even wanting to stay in a situation where you are not getting what you need. And again, I know I said earlier, that's family, so on and so forth. But the other part of that is that sounds like it became your family when y'all became romantic. So that's really what the foundation of this relationship is built on. The romantic situation that y'all had, right? The intimate situation that y'all had, the dealing as a couple, so to speak. That's really what the foundation of y'all relationship is built on. Now, that probably was okay for you maybe when y'all first started dealing to just be in a situationship because, maybe you were younger, maybe you wasn't looking for nothing serious, so on and so forth. But once you got to a point where you was wishing on your birthday cakes for a man that chose you and he has never chosen you, then at that point, you have to make a choice. And I wish that the choice would have gotten made a little earlier because then, you wouldn't be dealing with trying to make that choice right now while you're currently in a situation. But here we are, right? So my thing is there's a ton of self-work that needs to be done. There's a ton of self-evaluating that needs to be done. And there's a ton of self-assessing that needs to be done because you need to figure out what that connection is to your past and why are you letting it withhold you from moving forward with your future, especially if what you see in your future is what you genuinely want in your life. Right? Now, I know we as women, because I'm low-key guilty of it in my past as well, have dealt with a lot of fear-sounding romantic relationships. Like they say, the dating pool is filled with shit and piss. And, also, too, our own experiences. I always tell people that. I'm like, listen, I don't necessarily go by what I hear. I really go by what I experience. And even in past experiences, the reason why I had developed, some insecurities surrounding romantic relationship is because what I've been through with some fuckboys in the past, right? But when I went on the healing journey, come get your Operation Heal 100 Heart session, I realized that I was allowing those past experiences to dictate what my future would look like. And I'm telling myself I want this type of future, but I'm not allowing myself to have it because I'm so busy worried about what happened in my past. right? And the reason why I was worried about what happened in the past, because I had not healed from those situations and I had a healthy fear surrounding what could take place in the future. So I think for you, this is all about what do you need? What do you need that's gonna make you feel secure to be able to say, listen, what we had is what we had. I love you dearly. You will always be my family. I have nothing against you, but what we don't have is something that I need, so I need to proceed moving forward. Now, one of the things that I want to address, and I know you guys hear me say this word on all of my dear DJs, I use this word probably every dear DJ, it's boundaries. 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 You lack the capacity to enforce them when it comes to your ex. It's not that he lacks boundaries, it's that you lack the capacity to enforce them when it comes to him, right? Because really and truly, no person living this earth, unless they want to get locked up, is going to barge their way into your home or force you to answer the phone or have communication with them or even be there for them. Nobody's going to do that forcefully. They're only doing so because they know at some point you're going to be willing to do this. And the reason why that keeps happening is because you lack the capacity to enforce boundaries. Now, I get it. You may not be able to because, once again, I feel for this gentleman. We have X amount of time together. You know, I have deep feelings for him. That's fine. That's 100% fine. My suggestion would be, if that's the case, then wait on him a little longer and see if you can finally get what you need from him. But you can't lack the capacity to enforce boundaries and then say that, well, I'm not getting what I need from you. I'm moving on over here, but not ending what's taking place over here. I get the history of it. I get that you guys may be close and love each other. I get that your friendship may be unmatched. I get that you care deeply for this person. But if this person does not have the capacity to give you what you need and you cannot change what you need, then you have to separate from this person. And if you are struggling to do so, then that is not his fault, my dear. That is yours. And you need an Operation Hill 100 Heart session. But we'll get to that road once we meet there, right? The first thing, once again, like I said, if it was me, I would do is say, what does this ex provide that I need, right? And I would make a whole list of what he provides versus in conjunction with what I need, right? So it would be like, okay, let's just say he provides protection, right? That's something I feel like I need. That's what he has done for me in the last 10 years, right? You run that list down. How many other things that it is that you felt that you needed from that person, you write that down. Then on the other side of the paper, you write down what he has not given you that you need, right? Okay, so once you make that list for your ex, you set that paper to the side and you bring out your list for your new, right? And on that list for your new, you write down all of the things that you feel this person is providing, right? Because this person, according to you, is who you're choosing and who has chosen you. So if that's the case, you want to make sure that his list supersedes the ex list. And then I want you to go back to the X list and I want you to figure out, what am I not getting here that I need? We as women, I hear it all the time in Healing Heart sessions. We as women mistake our needs from our wants, right? Me personally, I want a fucking billionaire, right? But what I need is respect. You know, what I need is compassion. What I need is a man with a good heart, right? So that's my needs, right? That's different from my wants. And if you're saying that it's some things that you just need in order for you to feel whole as a woman and in order for you to be the woman that you're destined to be, and this ex cannot provide that and he hasn't done so within the last 10 years that you guys have been together, then you have to try to make yourself figure out why you're not strong enough to let this man go. And I want to say this, right? Because I have been in situations where I've been in one situation where this was 20 years ago, where I felt like I had the magic, right? And the magic is what I need. If any man wants to pursue me in a serious relationship, he has to have that magic, right? And he has to be able to provide that magic. And I have to be able to feel it, right? So it can't just be because I've met great men before, but they just didn't do it for me. So this man has to be able to provide that magic, and I have to be able to believe that he has that magic and bring my own magic, right? So 20 years ago, I was in a situation where I felt like because of the connection, you know, the things we talked about, the way we got along, you know, I just felt like this might be my magic, right? And of course, he had a situation. Oh Lord. And again, because I thought it was the magic, I stuck with him through the situation. The situation wasn't the issue. The situation wasn't the issue. We got past the situation. The issue was what I needed in order for us to continue to have this magic. He just could not provide that to me. It was nothing personal. He was not trying to be mean or disrespectful. For whatever reason, he could not give me what I needed. Everything else surrounding them couple of needs, he could give. He could give, which is why I thought this was the magic. And it actually lasted longer than need be because I thought this was the magic. I honestly believe he thought it was too. But when it came down to the nooks and the crannies of getting what I needed, he could not provide that. He could not provide that. And I was there looking like, how the hell am I in a situation with a person that I feel so passionately about, and you know, and I feel like they feel the same amount of passion for me and for what we have, and but for whatever reason, when you get down to the nooks and crannies of it, but you just can't give me those last little bits and pieces of what I need, right? And when that was recognized, the fear set in. Because now I'm going back to not having the magic if I decide to separate from you because you can't give me what I need. But how magical is it if I'm not getting what I need? So when I stepped back away from it and did all of my healing work, I realized that I had fell in love with the illusion of the magic. Because a couple of things was said right, a couple of things was did right. But when it got down to the nicks and crannies of it all, I wasn't getting what I need. So there was actually really no magic. There was companionship, there was friendship, there was romance, there was sex. All beautiful things, but no real magic. Because if you're not getting fulfilled in the areas that you need to be fulfilled, then you're not getting the magic, right? Let me also say this, right? If you are with your ex, right? Let's just say that you are getting all the fireworks and everything is perfect between you two, according to him and according to you. If he has not felt it in his heart and his mind to choose you, and you said that's what you needed to be chosen, that I don't care how many sparks and fireworks and everything else that you're receiving, he is not the man for you. A reason and a season. You do the self work to get what you need as far as the lessons go about dealing with this man. Maybe you learned a lot from him. Maybe he taught you a lot about himself. These are all things that you could take into your future relationship and be the best woman and wife that you are destined to be if that's what you want. But if you are not being chosen and that's something that you need and you have not been chosen yet and it's been 10 years, that is not on that man. That is on you. Why are you struggling to remove yourself from a situation that, from what you're explaining to me, doesn't benefit you? Especially when you have a situation, from what you're explaining to me once again in the letter, that does. I would also question the man that chose you. And I know, I don't want to ruffle your feathers because I know it's like, bitch, that's my boo. Like, he chose me. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I mean, you could go to Home Depot and get chose. Like, it's not just about a man choosing you. It's not just about a man asking to marry you as soon as they meet you. It's not just about a man telling you every single thing that you want to hear. It's also about what you need, what they are providing, what that looks like in real time, and if it's something that you can pursue. Because I imagine that if there was all the magic there from the man that chose you, then you wouldn't be writing me no letter and we would not be talking about your ex. So I'm inclined to believe that you might want to reevaluate that situation as well. And again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the gentleman. It just doesn't sound like he had the capacity to provide all the things that you need to remove this other person from out your space. And it sounds like you don't want him out your space either. So, my dear, this letter had limited details. Like I said, I felt like it was wrote a little hastily, but as I said, if any further details are needed, then you come for your Operation Heal Wound Your Heart session. But there is definitely some self-work that needs to be done, because at the end of the day, when you enter any relationship, friendship, romantic, familial, you want to make sure that you're getting what you need, right? And you're not just settling for your wants or what looks good and sounds good to you. And if somebody cannot provide what you need, then you cannot hold on to them for dear life, hoping that one day they will. Because if they could, they would have done so by now. My famous 9, let go or be dragged. All right, my dear. Okay. This Dear Deidre was good. This Dear Deidre was good because we live in a day and age where these are conversations that need to be had. Like you said, you're 40 plus from what it sounds like, and this is not a time to play. I'm 40 plus as well. It's not a time to play. Us adults are trying to get our shit together, and we trying to get our shit together with other adults who are trying to get their shit together so we can all come together as one. If you got some adults that's around that's not trying to do that, and that's what you're trying to do, then you're not getting what you need from those relationships, and you need to remove yourself. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hit the thumbs up on the video. Drop down in the comments. Let me know if I landed the plane. Let me know if you guys would give her some different feedback. Let me know if you needed more information. Let me know if what I said made sense, or if you feel like I actually needed to give her more. In any event, my dear, if you need me, come get your Healing Heart session. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be safe and enjoy your day.